So coming into a comfortable cross-legged posture. And I really do want this to be a comfortable posture for you. So please feel free to elevate your hips if sitting directly on the ground is not sustainable. We can rest the hands on the lap and just see if it feels better to have the palms down or the palms up. For me, they feel quite different. For you, you may not notice any difference. Just check in and see what's true for you. And lift up tall through the crown of the head. Feel your spine being stretched long. But keep your chin parallel to the ground. So when we lift, we kind of feel like we want to lift the chin, and that's fine while we're doing the lifting, and then just drop the chin and then drop the shoulders. Let the shoulders relax down. So it's a little challenging to feel like the spine is moving upward toward the sky, and then the muscles are relaxing downward toward the earth. Let the belly be soft and relaxed. Just let it fall open. And if closing the eyes is comfortable for you, you can please close the eyes. And if that's not comfortable, then you can just downcast your eyes and just steady them on some spot on the ground. Bring your attention inward and just notice the feel of your breath. And see if you just changed your breath just because I asked you to notice it. And it's perfectly normal. Just see if that happened. Science actually tells us that anytime we bring attention to anything, we change it. Not intentionally, but it's just what happens. So now that we've spent a moment just feeling the breath, letting our mind come into connection with the breath, let's start to deepen the breath. Feel the belly filling with your inhale, your ribs expanding, and your chest lifting. One nice long deep breath in, moving from the bottom of your lungs to the top of your lungs. And then a slow, smooth breath out. Just feeling each breath rising and expanding, falling and contracting. Exploring the full expression of breath. So it's a long inhale and a long exhale. And then without changing the breath at all, just begin to roll the shoulders one at a time, forward, up, back, and down. And the other one. And see if the breath and the shoulders are synchronizing in some way. Maybe they're not. Just notice. And then begin to roll the shoulders the other way. Going forward if you were going back before. And then relax the shoulders, just coming back to the feel of the breath. And then make circles in the air with your nose, rotating the head and neck. And then reverse directions, staying connected to your breathing. And then relaxing your head. We'll have the hands on the knees and make big circles around from the hips. And then we'll also move the spine. So as you go across the front, the chest will come forward and the eyes will lift. And as you come across the back, the chin will tuck, the navel will draw in, the back will round. When you're ready, reverse directions. And then coming back to a straight spine, to a full breath, relaxing across the face, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hands, relaxing the mind, seeing if the breath can occupy the mind enough to let go of thinking. And then staying connected to the breath, we'll come on to hands and knees. Have your hands right under your shoulders. Your knees right under your hips so you're in a table position. And then let the belly drop as you inhale into the belly. Breathing all the way into the chest as you lift your eyes, coming into a cow pose. And then exhale, tucking the tailbone, lifting the belly, dropping the head, lifting the front body up into the back body for your cat stretch. Going back and forth, rippling like a wave from the tailbone to the crown of the head, moving with the breath. And when you're in your cow pose, stay there. When the eyes are up and the tailbone is up, and then walk the hands forward, coming into our puppy pose. Sinking the chest, resting on the chin, on the forehead, or if you have the ability, turn your head and rest on your cheek. Keeping the elbows straight, dropping the armpits down, sinking the upper back into the chest into the ground. Feeling the breath moving from the belly to the ribs to the chest. And when you exhale and relax, dropping deeper toward the ground. If you're on one cheek, turn your head and rest on the other one. If you're on a cheek, bring your head center. Bring the hands back under the shoulders and press yourself up into a cat pose, rounding the back again. Holding here, pushing the ground away with your hands, bringing the chin as close to the chest as you can and lifting the navel. See if you can feel the breath spreading open your back ribs, widening across your shoulder blades. And then relax the back, coming back into a table posture. And bring the hands one hand's length forward. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes under. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, lift your knees. Push your hands forward. Press your buttocks back. And then straighten your legs and press your heels down. Roll your shoulders down your back. And sink your chest just like we did in puppy pose. Drop your head down completely so the top of your head is pointing toward the ground. And then push forward through all 10 fingers. Press back through your thighs. press down through your heels. Bring your belly toward your thighs. Maintain the forward pressure in the fingers. Breathe belly, ribs, chest. Let the back body sink toward the front body as you exhale. Good. And then on your next inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, and make big circles in the air with the knee. Steady your breathing. Circle the other way. So you want to have that same low, long breath, kind of a dragging of the breath through the throat. Good. And then just lift that left leg high as you inhale, looking past your hands. And then exhale and step the foot up between your hands. You can help it up if you need to do that. Good. The back heel is off the ground. And if you're wanting a gentler practice, the knee can come down. That's fine. Same stretch of the hip flexor. And then we're going to push back through that right heel if your knee is off the ground. Look forward and aim your tailbone forward. So it's as if your tailbone and your heel are moving away from each other. Nice breath up into the chest. Beautiful. Then bring the back heel down. Reach forward with the right arm and we'll windmill all the way up, bringing that right hand back onto the right leg and send the left arm up, reaching back. Front knee is bent. Don't let the knee fall in over to the right. Try to keep the knee, the front knee, in alignment with your second toe. Reaching back. And lift up. Bring that left forearm onto the knee, index finger to thumb. And then just start with your right hand on your hip. And take a breath and lengthen your spine. So you're moving your chest toward the computer. And then bring your left ribs under. So you're really facing sideways. Now send your right arm overhead. Reaching forward. Push back into your right foot and feel like your right foot and your right hand are reaching in opposite directions. And then feel into the breath and see if it's filling into the shape that's being created here. How much of this shape can you fill with your breath? Okay. And then bring the hand down onto the hip again. Take your gaze to the floor. We're going to place the left hand at about 10 o'clock of that left foot as we lift the back foot. So try to do it in one motion. Good. And then take that right arm back up. Breathe your body open. Now, if you can, bend your right leg and take hold of your foot so that your hand is on the arch side of your foot. And then kick the foot back away from you, away from the buttock. Take your gaze to the floor. And we're going to try to come up into dancer's pose from here. So you need to go very slowly. You need to really concentrate on your breath. You need to breathe deeply. And you need to focus your eyes on just the right spot. So if you feel yourself falling a little bit to one side, you change your eyes. So it's very hard. I think maybe like 1 out of every 3 times I try, I can do it. And I've been practicing it. So it's more about working on your focus than anything. Try a couple more times, and then just see what happens in the mind as you're trying and not succeeding. So this is all a mind exercise. The body's going to do what it's going to do. Nice, Rod. Yeah. So we can help it if the body doesn't cooperate. We can't control completely what the body does, but we can control what the mind does. So focusing the eyes, focusing on the breath, and not losing that. Okay, beautiful. So let's all come up into standing. We'll release the hands and step that right leg back, not all the way to the back, kind of like a 2/3 stance. Hands will come to the hips. And then we're just going to move that right hip forward a little bit more. Take a breath in, belly, ribs, chest, lengthen the spine, and then exhale and hinge forward. You can let the arms relax down, relax the head down, and then draw that left hip back. Feel your breath deep and slow and long. And then when you exhale, lift your lower belly in and up, relaxing your spine over your leg. And then bring that right hand close to your left foot. If you're more flexible, you can try to cross it over to the other side, to the pinky toe side of your foot. And then bring your left hand onto your hip. Don't be in a hurry to go any faster. Focus on your breathing. And then on your next inhale, lengthen your spine, pushing your hip back and bringing your chest forward. And then as you exhale, Lift your navel up and to the left. Tuck your right ribs under, twisting your body to face left, and then float your left arm up. And if you can take your gaze up to your left thumb. Makes it a little bit of a balance challenge, at least for me, maybe not for you. And stay connected to your long, slow breathing. And release the left hand down. Bend your front knee so that you can bring both hands to the ground. Step your right foot back a little bit so that you're back in a long lunge. Plant your right hand firmly on the ground with your fingers spread wide. And then take your left hand off the ground. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot and step your left foot back to your right foot. Send the left arm up. And then if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, close your eyes. If you want to challenge yourself less, that left foot can be on the ground, or the right knee can be on the ground even. Just find the version that works for your body and your energy level today. Sometimes it's nice just to not feel like you have to do more and to see how it feels just to nurture yourself and do less. Okay, bring that left hand down, come into a plank, modifying plank by knees on the ground if that's better for you. We're gonna hold in plank. We're gonna do a little bit of an abdominal crunch in plank. So you're gonna think about moving your tailbone toward your wrists and then moving your ribs toward your knees. And then bring the knees down, bend the elbows, drop your pubic bone onto the ground, coming into a cobra. Roll the eyes up, roll the shoulders back. Feel the breath rising up into your collarbones. Okay, lift your hips, push your hips back, coming into mecha pose, like a child's pose, but with the arms overhead, dropping the head to the floor. Pressing forward with your hands so it's more of an active stretch than a resting posture. Notice where the breath wants to expand and contract within this particular shape. How much of your body can you fill with the breath? Explore the limits, the edges. And then lift your hips off your heels, curl your toes, and press into downward dog. Lift your right leg, bend your knee, and circle the knee around in the air while you breathe slow and long and deep. And reverse directions. And then with an inhale, just lift that right leg, look past your hands. Exhale, step the foot up between your hands. Coming into a lunge, a runner's lunge, pressing back through the heel, lifting out through the chest, tailbone aiming forward, tailbone and heel in a tug of war. Okay, bring the back heel down. Reaching forward with the left arm, we'll windmill ourselves all the way up into reverse warrior. Left hand to left leg, front knee bent, right arm up and leaning back. Reaching out through those fingers. Feeling the breath crawling up the right side. And then coming into side angle. Forearm on the thigh, index finger to thumb. Let's bring the left hand onto the hip. You can even use that hand to kind of roll the hip up toward the sky to help us do that rotation where we bring the right ribs under so that we're really facing sideways. And then go ahead and bring that left arm overhead and push the left foot back as we reach the left arm forward. And then we create even more length and more space by taking more breath. Okay, left hand to the left hip, gaze to the floor. And then in one motion, we're going to bring the right hand to the floor about 2 o'clock of the foot as we lift the other foot off the ground. And then roll the belly over to the left and send that left arm up. Half moon number 2. And then bending the knee, take hold of the foot. If you can, not everybody can reach their foot, that's fine. If you're taking hold of the foot, do it from the arch side. If you have a strap handy that can help you get there, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Just reach. Don't have to touch. And then kicking the foot back so that you create a sense of tension. And that actually helps with the balance. Looking at the ground, steadying your mind on your breath, and lifting up, coming into a standing position from here. So we'll try it a few times and just notice the level of focus that you can achieve. So, like I always say, if the body falls out of the pose, so what? Don't let the mind fall out. If the eyes waver, the body will fall. Good. Maybe one more try, those of you who are not holding steady in the posture. Next time, Ming, try to do it slower. We're not going to do it anymore, but I think the speed might be the challenge for you. Okay, so come to standing, and then we're going to let go of the hands and step that left foot back about 2/3 of the normal length. Hands to the hips. And then just steer your hips a little bit to the right. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. And then exhale, hinging from the hips. Bend forward. Release the arms, let them hang down, let the head hang down. And then another little hinging of the hips. So the right one pulls back, the left one goes forward, just like you're steering a little bit to the right. And then filling the body with breath. And then as you exhale, scooping the lower belly in and up. Relaxing the spine downward toward the ground as you exhale. Let it flow like a waterfall. And then we'll come into our reverse triangle. So the left hand will move toward the right foot, onto the foot, or over to the outside edge of the foot. And the right hand will come to the hip. And then as you inhale, lengthen, pulling back through the hip and extending forward through the heart. Then as you exhale, lift your navel up and to the right, drop your ribs down and turn. Float the right arm up. Take the gaze to the thumb if you're able. And see if you can still breathe into the right chest. And release the hand down. Bend the front knee so that both hands can come to the ground. And step the left leg all the way back again. Plant your left hand with your fingers spread nice and wide. And then we're going to step that right foot back, taking it onto the left foot or in front or behind. And that left knee can come to the ground if need be. We'll breathe. Closing the eyes if you want more of a challenge. And then coming back into plank. Feel free to lower your knees to the ground for this one if you need it. We're gonna do some chaturanga push-ups. So you want to try to lower your whole body and lift your whole body. So if you can't do that with your knees off the ground, please do just put your knees on the ground. So as we lower, the elbows bend, but don't widen. It's not like a regular push-up. The elbows stay in line with the wrists and the shoulders, and you lower and straighten, and lower and straighten. Do a few more. Okay, and then bring your knees to the ground. And then sit on your heels. And this time we're going to come into a restful child's pose. So if your forehead does not come to the ground, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can widen your knees. And two, you can just support your head with your hands or your fists so that it is restful. It's not very restful to have your head hanging in the air. Let it rest on something. Doesn't really matter what. If you have a block, that's great. And if you're not using your hands as a pillow, fold your arms alongside the body. And take some widening breaths and some lengthening breaths. And see how much you can let go when you exhale. Let go of the arms. Let go of the heart. Let go of the face. Let go of the day. Let go of the past. Let go of the future. Just be right here, open, present, relaxed. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Press yourself up, back into a table posture. I'm going to send the knees out to the sides. And keep bringing the knees out, keeping the knees level with the hips. So we don't want to let the hips come forward or come back. We want to try to create a straight line across from knee to knee. And go as wide as you can. So bring your hips a little forward, at least from my perspective, it looks like your hips are behind your knees. Maybe you can tell better than I can tell, but that looks better. Could be an optical illusion, so if I'm wrong, don't listen to me. Okay, and then see if you can come onto your forearms. See if you can come onto your belly. And if you can come onto your belly, then the arms will be in cactus arms on the ground so that we're looking completely like a frog here in this frog pose. Connecting with your breath. Relaxing into it. Even if it feels intense, even if it feels like I can't relax, this is too painful. You can always relax. Okay, bring the hands under the shoulders, press yourself up, and bring the knees back in. And then go ahead and walk your hands in, rolling yourself up to standing on your knees. Left hand on belly, right hand on chest. Closing the eyes. Breathing from belly to chest. Okay. And then we'll take the left hand and bring it to the left heel. And if you don't reach your heel, curl your toes under and see if you can reach your heel that way. And if you still don't reach your heel, that's fine. Just bring your hand to your hip. And then lean back so that your weight is in your hand. If your hand is indeed on your heel. And then we'll reach the right arm up. Drop the head back if you can, if that's okay on your neck. Otherwise, just take the gaze down. Bring the hips forward. Really reach out of the fingers. Good. And then lower the hips. Keep your hand on your heel. If it was on your hip, bring it to your heel and come across on the diagonal with your right hand. And then pull your left hand toward your left knee. So it's on your heel, but it's kind of pushing toward the knee. And then walk the fingers of the right hand out. Take some breath. Don't you love a good diagonal stretch? Okay, come back around to the front. Lift back up to standing on your knees. Right hand on belly, left hand on chest. Breathing hand to hand. And then keeping this breath as we bring the right hand to the heel or the hip. Keeping the hips forward, lifting the chest. Send the left arm up and back. Drop the head back or down to the right. Reaching out of the fingers. Breathing long and slow. And then lower the buttocks, keeping the hand on the heel or moving it to the heel and reaching the left arm across on the diagonal. Press the hand into the heel, like you're pushing toward the knee. And walk the fingers out. Breathe into that big wide open space. And then bring the hands back to the floor in the front. And then slowly lift yourself up. Come off your heels. Bringing the feet to the ground in front of you. And the hands can be out in front. On your chest is a little bit harder. Up in the air is harder still. We're going to tuck the chin, round the back, and lower slowly to the ground with control. With breath. A lot of times when we do abdominal work, the body naturally kind of holds the breath, or maybe the exhale feels substantial, but the inhale is really shallow and barely there. So really see if you can maintain a nice deep breath. And then once you come all the way down, relax your arms, plant your feet in order to lift your hips and tuck your tailbone, and then release your legs, shake them out, in and out, in and out. If you're using an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes now. And then just extend your arms out away from the body, let your legs relax. Let your eyes close if that's comfortable for you. If not, maybe halfway closed. And then take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth, sinking the body into the ground. In through the nose. Out through the mouth, releasing the jaw, letting the lips slightly part. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Releasing the activity of your mind, turning your mind's full attention to the feel of your breath. Wherever you feel the breath most easily in your body, just park your awareness there. And then let go of the breath so that you're no longer breathing, you're just being breathed. Nothing to do. You don't need to control the breath. You don't need to evaluate the breath. Just trust that the breath will take care of itself. And just accompany it with curious attention. Just notice how every breath is different, unique. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move the fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side, letting the ground massage your back. Come center, rub the soles of the feet together and the palms of the hands together. And then roll onto your side, resting your head on your underside arm, resting your body on the ground. And seeing if maybe there's any appreciation that you might feel for your practice, for yourself showing up to do it, your body cooperating, your breath giving you life and giving your practice life. It's all quite wonderful. Sometimes we miss how miraculous the small things are. Just this breath. And then slowly bring yourself up to sitting. Dropping down into the sit bones, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale the hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, lift the heart to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much. It's so nice to practice with you again after so long. And have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you next Tuesday.